know how I'm here.
Hey everybody, thanks for sticking with us here at PAX South Live, powered by Twitch. I'm Garnet Lee. We've got an hour coming up that is packed with 5 awesome indie titles. And the first one is really kind of an interesting character in that it is a NES ROM. And I'm not even kidding you, it is an NES ROM. We're running it on an emulator here. But if you are here at the PAX South Convention Center, you can go over to the PAX Rising booth and play it.
Absolutely.
On an NES, which is kind of awesome, dude. I mean, that is what inspired you to go full old school and like make a ROM.
Yeah, so my development team and I, it's our favorite system, you know.
Okay.
There's a lot of cool stuff, obviously. Modern gaming is pretty spectacular, but that's what we grew up on, and we just love it, you know. So
by the way, I apologize for not introducing you. This is Craig, by the way. Everyone say hi to Craig. And Sean McGinnis here. But yes.
I just want to point out, we're playing on an NES controller.
We are literally playing with an NES controller. So, but anyway, sorry to interrupt. I want to make sure I introduce you.
No, that's cool. So yeah, it was like a passion project, I guess. You know, we love NES games. We love that cartridge, the feel, putting it into the slot, you know, holding this kind of controller. It's just something that we really wanted to do, and despite all the hardware restrictions of the NES, it was just kind of seen, instead of like restrictions, it was just like a challenge.
So we're going to jump in here so you guys can see it, and we'll talk with Craig a little bit about the game so you can see what's actually we're talking about here. It's Haunted. Halloween 1985.
Absolutely.
Which is, I love the whole like callback to the actual time and era there, and it's a classic looking game right off the bat.
Yeah, absolutely. It's a 2D side-scrolling beat-em-up kind of style game. We got our hero here, Donnie, and he's basically running through his school. He's trying to get home. He gets to school late one day, and he finds out that shit hit the fan, and the whole school has been destroyed, and everything's haunted. So
and taken over by zombies, of course.
Taken over by zombies. Well, we're from Pittsburgh, and zombies are just kind of in our blood.
It's the Rust Belt.
Yeah, absolutely. So yeah, so you're running around, you're fighting zombies, you're fighting ghosts. There's crows, there's ghost hounds, pumpkins. So there's a lot of different kind of enemies, and at the end of every level, there's a unique end level boss that you got to fight. So it's your typical kind of NES style game.
Okay, Craig, you're making this look easy. I presume that you played it quite a bit.
Yeah, actually, that was one of the things that my team and I talked about. I was like, maybe I'm not the right person to play this game, because I'm so used to going through, testing every platform, like run through the game, go to a platform, fall off the edge. Run through the game, go to that platform, fall off the other edge, you know?
Right.
I'm like used to just trying to test out the game. So it's only on occasion that I actually get to go through and enjoy just playing it.
Are you trying to stick to kind of era-specific game design, or do you think that you're kind of sprinkling in more modern ideas here?
A little bit, yeah. So if you notice, we kind of jumped into the background a little bit there, which is something that's not typical of these 2D side-scrolling platformers. Most of the time it's like Mario and everything's extremely blocky, and you're just, So our graphic artist, Zach, he did a great job of kind of like hiding the grid. So you can see there's like depth to the game, and the platforms that you're on aren't the typical block style. But we feel like, from the feedback we've gotten, once people get used to it, and it only takes a couple of minutes, they're like flying through the game. And I'm kind of like, even these young kids, 7, 8, 9-year-olds who are just like, oh, this is wild, and they're just flying through it. And I'm like, you know how long it took me to do that?
Come on, guys.
Right.
Show some respect.
Right, exactly.
Respect your elders.
Yeah.
So art is actually a really interesting thing to talk about here because, in the resurgence of indie games, retro style art has been a big thing.
Absolutely.
But here, I think it's maybe even a misnomer to say retro style because it is actually authentically retro.
You're working off hardware limitations here.
Yeah.
Absolutely, 100%. I mean, that's what, it's kind of hard to classify. Is it a retro game? Some people say, well, it's not a retro game because it didn't come out in 1985 or whatever. But I don't see how it could not be considered retro just because everything about it is built for a system that came out in 1985.
So we're playing right now on an emulator. What are your plans as far as support? Because not everybody's going to have access to an NES.
Yeah, so that was a huge topic we've been discussing with people all day long, is about, they're like, oh, this game looks so cool, but I can't play it. My Nintendo doesn't work, or I don't have one. So we're currently developing the PC version, building it in Unity. We're trying to get it on Steam. We have a Steam Greenlight going right now. So anybody out there that likes retro games, if you can give us a yes vote, that'd be awesome. So build it in Unity, put it on PC, and then see where we go from there. We've had people talk to us about other platforms platforms, and it's just like, you know, one step at a time,
So
basically.
does that mean that you're actually making two concurrent builds, one that is a NES ROM build and one that's Unity, or are you running Unity in the NES?
No, this is 100% finished and complete, released on cartridge. You can go to our website, cashandculture.com, and buy it today on the NES cartridge. And so now we're currently working on the PC version for the people that don't have the Nintendos.
I got you. That's very cool. What was it? I mean, was it challenging to find molds in order to make the cartridges? And so, I mean, this is like a whole, like, there's so many questions that come to mind. How do you do this in 2016?
Right. So there's an incredible community of homebrewers, NintendoAge.com. Incredible guys that'll totally help you out with anything you want to do. We go through a company called Infinite NES Lives, and that's where we get the boards and our lockout chips and our the shells.
Okay.
So everything is brand new, no donor carts, you know, no carts were harmed in the making of this game.
No old carts were harmed in the
Right, absolutely.
You didn't have to go to New Mexico and dig things up?
No, nothing like that, right. Although that would be fun if we found a nice NES dig.
The PC version, it has to be one hell of a small install file, right? If it's going to fit onto an NES ROM?
Absolutely. So our game is actually rather large for an NES game. Imagine this, 512K.
Ooh. Wow. I don't know if I have that much space on my hard drive.
I know,
might have to clear some
This is a 512K game.
Yeah.
So you might have to buy some additional memory.
Right, absolutely. But, you know, you got to do what you got to do to play cool old games.
Definitely.
So yeah, it's like when you talk about that, like in the community, some games are so efficiently built for the NES that they use a fraction of that. And when you're dealing with, you know, 1.79 megahertz processor, you can only do so much in the little bit of time that you have to actually process. Yeah.
This is all so cool, man. Do you guys have, so now that you've had this experience and you've done one, what plans to do additional games in the future?
We're currently working on the sequel to this.
Okay.
I'm not going to give out the name of it yet, but it might have something to do with 1986.
Oh, that's good.
Yeah.
Nice.
So we're going to expand on it. We have another character developed already. It's going to be, well, if you have a love interest when you're 10 years old, Donnie here, his love interest Tammy, we're going to introduce a female character to it. She's going to do a lot of the kicking. You see, he pretty much punches everything. She's going to do some kicking animations. We were actually working on it last night.
Foundation of a good relationship right there.
Absolutely.
One does the kicking, one does the punching.
Right. So they're both part of this, you know, NES club at school. So they like to play NES games, which obviously just came out for them. And, you know, they're going to run around Possum Hollow, the town that they live in, and they're going to beat...
I love that, Possum Hollow.
They're going to beat the crap out of things.
Good stuff, Craig. Hey, by the way, if you are here in the convention center, head over to the PAX Rising area. You can play this right now on an NES. You can also pick it up from their website. And if you are interested in like a PC version of it, be sure to go over to Steam and give them a thumbs up on Greenlight. So we're going to be right back. We're going to switch things out here. We've got